Hey team, today we're going to be dealing with the seller's property condition disclosure. And when you fill out forms and zip forms and send them into SkySlope, it's so much easier because they're your forms. You know how to use that information and get it there pretty quickly. It's a little different when you have to send it to a client to fill out. And especially this very detailed form like this with so many check marks and so forth. If you're going to try to do this digitally, it can be quite a challenge. But today we're going to show you a way that you can do that and still get it into SkySlope fairly quickly. So let's say we have this particular transaction here. This is just fictitious, 119 Moorcroft Way. And down here is the seller's property disclosure document that we're trying to get into SkySlope. And so what you need to do is you go into zip forms. And of course you'll create this particular transaction. It's a new listing. And it is 119 Moorcroft Way, and that's Greer, South Carolina. And you choose residential. And the very important thing to choose here is the correct template. When creating a template in zip forms, or when choosing a template in zip forms, you want to make sure that you're going down to these two global ones, one for buyer and one for listing. So you want the global new listing docs pre-filled. And you'll click on that and hit save. And it's going to create that that listing for us and populate it with those particular fillable documents. All right. So here's our listing. We need to put the parties in, and we're going to look at seller 1. And we're going to name this seller Heinz Doofenshmirtz. And he needs, that's a middle name, pardon me, last name, Doofenshmirtz. And the email is doofy7384@gmail.com. And of course, we'll fill in the rest of that information with a normal seller, but for this test, we're just going to give that information, and we will hit save. All right, and there's our seller 1 there. And so the next thing I want to do is look in our documents. And we're looking for that residential property condition disclosure. It's located right there. And you go ahead and click that. And you will see that this is a fillable form, but you notice all these little check marks are not there yet, and that's the most challenging part of this form, to have your client fill that out and send it back. And so directly from zip forms, you can bypass a lot of the headache of trying to do it through SkySlope by just going to e-sign in zip forms. And there it is. That's what it's going to send. And they use a signing service called Digital Ink. We realize that this is the correct form, and we just hit next. It's going to ask us to whom we want to invite to sign this, and we're going to choose Heinz Doofenshmirtz, and then we will hit next. And I have a pop-up blocker, unfortunately, and navigated through that little browser issue. And there is our residential property condition disclosure. And we look at it, we see there's a place for Heinz to sign, all these little X marks. Now, when he receives this, all these little X marks will not be there. They're just showing that they're available for X marks. So they've taken all those little spaces and they've already allowed them to be fillable. So there they are. And so we'll hit next. And we'll send the invitation, and it's going to finalize. And then we're going to go to Heinz Doofenshmirtz's email account and see if indeed that has been sent through. This might take just a couple minutes, and I will keep refreshing that to see if that comes through. It is somewhere in cyberspace floating around, looking for a place to land, and of course we hope that it lands in Heinz's inbox. So let's see here. There it is. All right. So Marcus Wondercheck is inviting Heinz to sign this document. And so he goes into his email and he clicks the start signing. And it's going to take him out to this website where he can do that work. He will just accept this. And here's the fillable form, and he will click start. And he can initial it right away. And there's all these check marks. And this could take a long time to work through. I'm just going to check these in no particular design. And just so we can get through this together. Initial that. I'll just click through that. And let's see. Some more boxes to check off. Work our way through those. Missed one. There we go. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And hit the initials again. Fill out anything that needs to be done there. And initial. And then he can sign right here. And there's a few more questions about HOA and so forth, and a few more things to sign. And he will give the final signature there and accept. And hit complete. Takes them out to that particular screen. All right. Meanwhile, back in zip forms, we are back under our 119 Moorcroft Way, and we can hit e-sign again. Right, and we want to retrieve the signed documents. And it says the documents were successfully stored in this transaction. So you can just X out of that. You go back into your documents. We should be able to find that one in this new folder. It usually gives you a duplicate folder. Either one is going to work just fine. Let's just grab this one out of here. And there is the residential property condition disclosure. And you can open that up and you can see that it has been signed. And then from here you can do a couple things. You can download it and just create your copy that you can upload to SkySlope, or you can go ahead and send it directly to SkySlope. And of course the way that we do that, we click out of this box and we just simply go back to SkySlope, copy that address, fill it, and we go ahead and hit send. And we're going to make it from our work address. And it's been sent successfully. So we can X out of there and go into SkySlope. And now go look at our documents. And sure enough, there it is. Now, of course, you know, this one's here as well because it's something that I sent earlier today. But this is the one that we're dealing with now. Now these user photos and Zip Forms Plus, unfortunately these still come through and we use the email method. And one thing you can do is you can go into your Zip Forms Plus account, your email, and get rid of all signatures so your stuff doesn't come through. But every email still has these two particular small pictures and they keep coming through. I'm looking for a way to remove them so you don't have to deal with these. The easiest thing to do when you see them come through is just go ahead and take those and you can go ahead and move them to the trash, and they're gone. But there's your form. All right, it's all ready to go, and it has been signed. And so we can then take this particular form, and you want to assign it, and it's going to be assigned to the seller's property disclosure doc. Sure enough, we go to our checklist, and there it is, ready to go, ready for April to take a look at that and hopefully accept it right away. And that's the process of getting it signed digitally by your client. So you send it directly through Zip Forms, and then when it comes back to you, you can just simply email it to the transaction, and you're ready to go. I hope that's helpful. If you have a better idea of how to do this, something that's faster than we're seeing, please let me know, and we'll make another training video of an even faster way to do this. But I want to give you this heads up. When this is done through handwriting, it could take a long time, and the scanning and everything else. Some of your clients may insist on that. That's fine. But we think this could be a quick and easy way to take care of it. Hope this is helpful to you, and hope you'll be using this very soon with new listings.